On Bike Rebellion this week, I spoke to Mark Bell. Mark is a Navy veteran, a bicycle commuter, and a disciple of Bushido. In this conversation, we talk about Mark's health journey, from a sedentary lifestyle and near-death experience to an active mobility routine, walking and cycling, and over time, getting healthy and strong. Mark is known around San Diego for prominently carrying a chokuto, or samurai sword, while riding his bicycle. As bike safety accessories go, I wouldn't recommend this for everyone, but I would be willing to bet that drivers give Mark a little more space and respect on the road than they would otherwise. We met with Mark on July 11th, 2025 on Pier 19 in Barrio Logan. Enjoy. On Bike Rebellion this week, I'm meeting up with Mark Bell. Mark is a guy that I met in the bike lane, and I thought him interesting, and I introduced myself, and we see each other in the bike lane all the time now, and just have a wave. But I wanted to have Mark on, just because he carries a sword when he rides, which is kind of a similar strategy that I have with drivers, where I carry like a tactical, little envelope on my bike so people don't know if I'm packing or not. But a sword is also a fantastic strategy. So if you would take a few minutes to introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Mark Bell, obviously.
Okay.
I've been cycling almost 10 years now, just a shade under. Started cycling mainly just because I was battling diabetes.
Okay.
Back in 2013, beginning of.
Okay, so health reasons about 12 years ago.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it is now 12 years. Wow, yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about your journey. I mean, where did it start? Look.
In total?
No, just you were in poor
yeah.
health. You had
I had a bad battle with diabetes.
Yep.
And I just needed a new health routine.
Yeah.
Cycling it's just great low impact cardio.
Yep.
And it also serves as transportation, and it gets me outdoors and into the sun, which I was getting too little of.
Yeah, it's great.
And so it all kind of just came together. I had a different bike for about almost 4 years.
Okay.
Yep. No, it was 4 years. It was almost 6 years. It got stolen.
Okay.
That happened in Albertsons downtown.
Oh, bummer.
I had been parking in a little corner where nobody really paid attention to it, and one guy was apparently watching me.
Okay.
For a couple of days in a row, and just saw his opportunity. I almost caught him too. He's lucky I didn't.
Well, cool. So you live? Are you from San Diego?
No, I'm from New Jersey.
No kidding. Where about?
Hightstown, Center State, near.
Okay. I'm from Medford, if you know where that is.
Where?
Medford.
You
know where Cherry Hill is?
Yes,
near there.
More southern Jersey.
Yeah, southern Jersey, in the Pine Barrens.
I know Cherry Hill a little bit.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, that's funny. We're from the very, pretty specific part
same
of New
region,
Jersey.
and now same state.
Okay, cool.
Same region in another state.
How long have you been out here?
Big Jersey.
Yeah.
You look at California on a map; it looks like giant Jersey.
How long have you lived out here?
I've been here since September of '95.
Okay.
I joined the Navy.
Okay.
In May of '95. After a bunch of schools elsewhere in the country, I came here because it was the farthest from the Naval Yard in DC.
Okay.
I didn't want to be there. So I picked a ship out here, fresh, new coast, new ocean, new people.
Yep.
And decided I loved the weather and I liked the area, so I stayed.
Cool. And you didn't bike at all when you were here?
Not then, no.
Okay.
No, it's mostly just walking or riding around in cars.
Yep.
Haven't had a license for like almost 30 years.
No kidding.
Just transportation was good here, so I didn't see the need to spend much money for it.
Yeah.
And
so you started biking as sort of a, for your health, obviously.
Yes, that was the primary function.
Yeah, and what do you see as other advantages or benefits to
Money.
doing it?
Saves a
Money?
lot of
Yeah,
money.
yeah, that's very true.
But yeah, it was just everything all at once. It just I like being out. I biked all the time as a kid too.
Yep.
So it just was easy to get back into it. And now I can go farther and faster with a
Yeah.
multi-speed bike as opposed to my little, what was my last one? It was a Diamondback
Okay.
BMX.
Oh, okay. So it was like a
Yeah.
GMX bike. Wow.
I like jumping. And
Okay.
all the other kids had these little freestyle
Mhm.
stunt bikes, with the mag
With the
wheels and
pegs
whatnot.
and
Oh yeah, and they would crack all the time. They were so darn fragile. And we'd all go jumping and they'd crack all their mags, but me and my heavy duty
Yeah.
spokes, nope, they wouldn't crack, they would bend nothing.
Cool.
I bent handlebars, bent necks, broke the pedals. I broke everything on the bike except frame. Frame is awesome.
Can you still do that type of riding, like trick riding and stuff?
I was never really good at the trick riding. I always just preferred jumping.
Okay.
So I would try to do tricks while jumping, which is why I crashed all the time.
Yeah. So one of the rides that I go on lately is critical mass here in San Diego is getting going again, and a lot of those guys
Someone
who
else
were
has
like the
mentioned that
wheelie
before.
riders and the trick riders and stuff
Yeah.
go on the critical mass now, and it makes it a lot of fun because they're having all kinds of cool.
Oh, I've been seeing the kids with the little the e-bikes. They're
with the
coming up
mini
with
bikes.
new kinds of tricks, constantly doing wheelies.
That's a little scary.
Everywhere. Yeah.
That's a little scary.
In traffic. They're doing it in traffic too. But they're forming little e-bike gangs.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Pretty funny.
can you think of any other reasons like why you bike? The financial, obviously, the health. What else would be
The
at the top
weather.
of your list?
I can
Just
be
being outside.
Yeah, I can be out in the sun, even the clouds. 350, darn
Yeah.
near 375 days a year.
Yeah,
How
it's-
am I? 365?
Our
Yeah,
climate makes it
65.
easy here for sure.
Yeah, the climate, it keeps me from being lazy.
Yeah, totally.
That was definitely one of my main focuses why I evaded e-bikes even,
Yeah,
because it makes me have to work for it.
yeah,
And San Diego's a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit like San Francisco. There's any direction I go, I can find a hill.
oh yeah,
So I made that my motivation right away to build up my legs and to just make myself work.
that's great.
To just find a hill, go up it. I couldn't do it at first. I would get a third of the way up, maybe halfway up, and then I'd have to walk.
Yeah.
But I just kept doing it over and over. And now my legs are hard like when I was a kid, and I can go up all the hills.
And your cardio is probably
Yeah.
better than it's been in a long time, right?
It's rule number one, zombie apocalypse, is cardio. So yeah, low impact cardio.
Cool.
A lot of these hills, I go up them now in 80 plus degree weather. I barely even sweat anymore. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to find bigger, steeper hills now.
Yes, and there's good hills here, but for people who are like used to training in mountains, that it's
Not quite that extreme.
It's
yet.
not quite that extreme here, but there are some really good hills that you can go up and down.
Yeah.
I guess if you were so inclined.
You can train yourself enough that when you get to mountains, you won't kill yourself.
Right.
You'll be able to make it maybe a third, halfway up,
Cool.
and then you'll have to stop.
So do you see any sacrifices to life by bike or things that
Time.
the time?
I oftentimes have to catch a trolley or a bus here and there to make up
Yeah.
some time.
Of course.
Usually I kind of plan around that. I allow for myself to take longer to get, so I'll wake up earlier in the morning,
Yeah.
or I'll prepare to go somewhere an hour ahead so I can get there and not have to push myself or rush and be sweaty when I get there.
And you, until recently, you lived in the downtown
Yeah.
area, and now you live down in
Chula
Chula
Vista.
Vista. Okay.
For the time being, I'm probably going to be moving again soon,
Okay.
kind of like transitioning. But yeah, I'm content being far from work.
Okay.
If I have to ride 5 miles in the morning, that's okay.
Work is downtown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, Point Loma.
Point Loma. Okay.
But it keeps me pedaling, keeps me moving, keeps me from being lazy. Because, yeah, when I was in the hospital, I think it was the end of 2012. It was December. What had happened was I caught a weird flu.
Okay.
I didn't even know I was diabetic. I had no idea. I thought I had restless leg syndrome, which was not. It was neuropathy from
Okay.
the diabetes.
Yeah.
So I caught a rare strain of flu that had literally killed everyone else in the country that got it.
Wow.
There was eight or nine people that got it, and I'm the only one that lived.
Wow.
It was bad. I was intubated for 5 days while the doctor was trying to figure out some sort of a. I didn't have a next of kin they could communicate at the time. And so the doctor was trying to figure out how to come up with a cocktail of drugs that would keep me alive. And basically, my heart was still going. I was chemically intubated. I was almost effectively brain dead.
Wow.
My whole body had shut down. I was in, what do they call it, ketoacidosis or some such. So it was consuming. I woke up, I was about 40% less muscle than I was the day before, or 4 days before. And
what?
they were going through all the meds afterwards as I was recuperating.
Yeah.
And they couldn't figure out why the hell I was diabetic, because I didn't have any other key health factors. People think diabetes is like a fat disease. It tends to coincide with it, but it's not a cause.
Okay.
It's more like a correlation.
Okay.
And so I was a little bit fat at the time, but that wasn't the cause. I later figured out it was just being too sedentary, too much.
Right.
Sitting on my ass, playing video games, not being out in the sun, not having a regular exercise routine. And
Well,
it just,
I mean, an experience like that will
Yeah.
wake you up.
yeah, it woke me up. It made me realize if I don't stop what I'm doing,
No, it's
if
fine.
I don't change what I'm doing right now, I'm going to end up losing my legs. That was the first thing they
Wow.
told me. My neuropathy in my legs was really bad. It was moderate to severe.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, this is life change time. Whatever I'm doing, it ain't right.
Yeah.
And they kept trying to figure out something else. He's like, your blood pressure is high, but it's not terrible. Your dietary tract is remarkably clean. They even showed me the pictures of it.
Yeah.
Everything else was good.
Yeah.
So it was like literally just I was too sedentary. Because
Yeah.
if you eat too much, that's bad. But if you eat too much and you're just sitting around doing nothing, that's worse.
That's really bad. Yeah.
Because your blood just I can't remember the terms, but your blood loses the little receptors that carry the sugar to the cells that need it.
Yeah.
And so when you're not exerting, you're not like active.
So
The receptors carry the sugar, but they don't take it to the cells.
So when you got out of the hospital and after you had this near death experience, like how, like what did that look like? Like did it take you several months, I assume,
Yes.
to probably
6.
recover
Yep.
in therapy? And then you get to, get on a bike or
Yep.
or sort of start doing things
I was
differently?
in the hospital for about 24 days of just being able to move, recuperating so that I could just move. Then the next 2 weeks, it was difficult to walk to a Smart and Final that was just maybe a tenth of a
But
mile
you were
away.
up and around. I mean,
Yeah.
that's good.
I was making sure I was not sitting on my ass. I was getting up. I was trying to do everything I was doing before and more.
Yeah.
So I would go get groceries,
Yeah.
and I would carry the bags, and I would have to stop 3 or 4 times just walking a tenth of a mile.
But you were training
And
during that
yeah,
time. You were building.
Exactly, yeah. There's this little hill. It's like maybe a half to a 1% gradient, and I was losing my breath going up
Yeah.
that. It was
Yeah.
like, I got to do. So from that point on, I walked upstairs. I would never take an elevator.
Yeah.
I was already kind of doing that before, but now it was like I'm never taking the elevator again unless I have to.
Yeah. That's
And so
interesting.
stairs all the time, walking everywhere. If I can avoid a bus, I'll walk.
It's great.
So I would walk to the trolley.
So
and
you don't
skip the
go to
bus.
a gym.
I was then.
Okay.
I went to a gym for 6 months to get back some muscle mass.
That's kind of what I did too. and once I sort of, got to where I wanted to be that way, I just, did the cardio. I could
Yeah.
probably still spend some time in a gym, but I get all my exercise biking,
That's mainly how it is for me. Yeah.
So your commute right now is probably 15 miles?
It's close to that. It's
Okay.
probably like, it's about 8-ish miles to downtown, and then about another 4.
Okay.
So yeah, about 12 miles.
Okay, cool.
Roughly.
That's
And before that, it was downtown to Point Loma. It was about 4.4 miles.
Yep.
And so in the morning, it would be a short ride. But then in the afternoon, I would always take some circuitous route all over
Enjoy
the Dane
it.
County. It's like I'm not going straight home.
Well, your commute is really, beautiful along Harbor Drive and stuff, and
Yep.
yeah, there's
I'll
so many
take
different
Harbor
routes that
Drive.
are all
I'll go
beautiful.
all the way up through Old Town, Hillcrest, because there's hills in the way.
Yeah.
I'll go all the way down along Mission Valley, and then cut up through. There's a, I can't remember what freeway it is. It's a freeway that goes up between the hills.
Texas?
Between, yeah, it's probably Texas
Yep.
Street. A little further down, and there's a bunch of main roads that lead onto different freeways. I'll go up that, and then all the way up to National City.
Yep.
And then circle back,
Yeah.
coming
nice.
along here.
So we talked a little about clubs and stuff. Like you've ridden with the Werewolves before. Do you have any other like bike rides that you like or clubs that
I'm
you
mostly solo all the time.
Yep.
There were a couple guys that were at the Werewolves that went to other groups.
Yep.
And so I went with a couple of those at a couple times, but
Yeah.
I'm usually just off by myself,
do? Okay.
just
Yeah.
in traffic
Late-
somewhere,
I did Werewolves for
getting filmed everywhere,
What's that?
getting filmed everywhere. I'm constantly seeing cars passing by me and people got their camera out, they're filming or picturing.
Oh yeah, with
I've-
the sword.
I've been apparently featured on Reddit and TikTok and YouTube and some other channels.
Totally. I love what you're doing. Let's actually get into that actually. So the when I say you carry a sword, it's like a broadsword and it's
It's a little different, but yeah.
okay,
Big
but
sword.
it's a serious sword and
Yeah.
it is sharp, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's close to scalpel sharp.
So when
I
did you
still
start
have all
doing
my
that?
fingers. I'm shocked.
When did you start doing that?
I was telling the other guy, I've been into steel since I was about 6 years old
Okay.
when I got my first pocket knife. So I've had a pocket knife on me ever since. I've had big ones, little ones, every kind you can think, fixed blades, folders, all of them. Victorinox, Swiss Army knives. I've had them all.
Yeah.
Well, lots. All lots. So I've been obsessed with swords and steel since about 6. I mean, Star Wars, Conan the Barbarian, I was into all of that.
Cool.
And my dad had a couple of wall hangers I would run around my backyard playing with. But it never occurred to me that I could purchase a sword until a few years ago. I went through some other trauma, and a friend of mine a coworker friend of mine turned me on to an anime called Demon Slayer.
Okay.
4 years, almost 4 years ago now. And he was just, because he talks anime all the time.
Okay.
And I was listening to him talk about that one. I'm like, that one sounds like the one I'd like the most. Lots of swords, lots of sword fighting, killing demons. That sounds
Okay.
like the one I'd be interested in.
Yeah.
Gave it a try and watched the first season. Like, oh wow, this is way better than I imagined. It's way different than the animes I grew up on. Not bad, not in a bad way. Just way different, way more, a little more traditional Japanese,
Okay.
but fancifully so.
And it's new stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the characters I gravitated to is called Rengoku. And he has this flame nature. It's just basically a katana in a flame theme.
Okay.
And I just was like, wow, I wonder if anybody makes that. Oh, it's cool. I looked it up on the computer. They make it. And they don't just make it. They make a real functional, battle-ready
Wow.
flame Nichiren of Rengoku. And so I bought it. I found a website that made it, and I bought it. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Is that your first sword?
Yeah.
Like that you bought?
Yeah, first real sword.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And to just make sure I was safe, because I was always aware of laws and
Yeah.
weapons and whatnot. I looked up the laws and looked up all the kind of back and forth conversation about the law, and it's literally legal to carry a sword. The only real stipulation is that it can't be concealed. So I can't be wearing it underneath a trench coat.
Right.
I even thought about getting Rengoku's uniform and riding around with the cape. It's like, well, as long as I keep it so the cape isn't concealing the sword, I'm legal.
Dude, you'd be a hit at Comic-Con with that, right?
Yeah. I walked around with the sword once at Comic-Con and got a lot of eyes for that.
Oh, that's funny.
But
So do the cops ever give you any shit, or people
nope,
ever give you
they're
any
the
shit?
only
Probably
ones
not,
that don't.
right?
That's the hilarious part. A few weeks back, I was cycling up along the Strand, and I had that with me. And at some point, I swear it was the school. There's a little school right up along the Strand here and all the kids were out in the back, and they're all learning to fly kites. And so there's like 30 kids all side by side in a perfect little square, and 30 little kites flying above them. And I'm passing by, so I'm just like, wow, I remember the first time I learned how to fly a kite.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking someone at the school, like, what the heck is this old guy with a sword doing staring at our kids? He looks creepy. And so about maybe a mile and a half down the road, I see these two cops, the Coronado police. They're in their little SUVs parked on the side. And the one cop walks the other down the path. I'm like, they're going to ask me about the sword. Oh, crap. And I stop, and the first thing they tell me is, don't worry, you're not in trouble. And I'm like, oh, how's it going? They're just, they asked me to make sure that I'm not waving it around. I'm not brandishing the weapon. And they just wanted to let me know that apparently somebody had called and was a little concerned about something, because this was just after all the big riots broke out up in LA.
Yeah.
So apparently someone was concerned. Is that happening here? I see a guy with a sword.
Right.
But yeah, they were very reassuring. It was totally professional. It was like, yeah, the cops are the only ones who don't buy. They even asked me questions like,
So was there an experience that you thought to carry the sword?
it started out as, I like swords. I'm always carrying a pocket knife.
Okay.
I can transport from work and back with the sword if I want to. And it was just like, this is actually kind of cool. It doesn't really, if I put it on my back like I do, it doesn't get in the way of my pedaling. It doesn't clang around. It doesn't get oil or grease on it from the chain.
Yeah.
And if I put it on my side, sometimes, especially the Rengoku blade has a weird suba. It digs into my ribs a bit, so it's like a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But if I put it on the back, which the chokutos are much better for, the straight blades, it ends up being an excellent training tool. It's just an extra 1 to 2 kilos of weight that I can carry, so that as I slim out, my rides are still hard.
That's cool.
And then, oh my goodness, the attention I get all the time. Everywhere I see people. It used to just be my hair, but now it's the sword.
That's fantastic. So it's a conversation starter for sure.
It definitely is. People stop me all the time at traffic lights.
So in the riding that you do, you commute to and fro work probably right now 30 something miles a day. The infrastructure that you use, what is I guess between here and Chula Vista you ride sort of along Harbor Drive and use that infrastructure, and that's much improved lately.
Oh yeah, they've definitely improved all the bike lanes. There's bike lanes everywhere.
Yep.
And they're like, ironically, they're a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I think they both help and hurt cycling, because it's not to make it political, but they create a buffer of safety between cars and bicycles. The problem is it also maintains the vein of ignorance. I think people were starting to get used to sharing the road with bikes. Okay. And the bikes literally having to share the road kind of forced them to consider, where's this guy going? He's kind of going almost some of the city street speeds. So I don't have to compensate too much. I can just move alongside. He's going right, I'm going right, so we can go right together.
Right.
So they were just starting to get used to that, I think. This is about 4 or 5 years ago. But now the bike lanes are everywhere. And so it seems, especially the Tesla drivers, it seems like they're starting to get a little discomforted near bikes again.
I would agree that the drivers have gotten worse.
Yeah.
But
especially the Tesla drivers.
But I don't know that like the bike lanes are the cause. I think it's
maybe just a little bit of a buffer that exacerbates the problem.
Yeah, and maybe enrages the wrong, But again, you carry a sword in traffic, so people probably don't mess around with you as much as they might someone else.
They do seem to be a little extra careful. Like, is this guy going to chop me up if I cut him off?
Yeah, exactly.
I think they're more worried about not having my sword scrape the side of their car.
Yeah.
They're just compensating for that. It's usually dangling about as wide as my shoulders. So it's like, if they're going to hit the sword, they're going to hit me.
Yeah.
One car actually passed me, and had my hands, this was before the sword, with my old bike. I had my hands on the
The hoods.
the hoods. Thank you. Had my hands up on the hoods, and this car got so close to me up in Hillcrest, its mirror caught the bottom end of the drop,
Mm-hmm.
and it literally knocked and folded their mirror up against the door. I'm like, whoa, that was a little close. It's like I felt something, the mirror,
Yeah.
slightly scraped the back of my hand. I'm like, wow, that was really close.
As many miles as you do, you've been lucky then.
Oh yeah, but I have been hit though. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I was hit more as a kid. I was damn near folded in half and killed as a kid
Yeah.
when I was 9. Some crazy lady was trying to beat the light. Didn't see me because I was behind a car to cross an intersection at a traffic light, and I crossed the street to go push the button, and she comes screaming. This is in like 1983 or
In
something.
Jersey.
Yeah. And she's screeching around the corner in one of these like giant Grand Prix-esque cars, this 70s car.
Mhm.
Big boat of a car with old bias ply tires. So it's screeching its tires as it comes around the corner, probably doing 25 miles an hour.
Mhm.
And I can see the big chrome bumper coming right for my leg. And so I just managed to pull my leg up out of the way of her bumper, hits the bike at the pedals right underneath my foot, and launches me like 20 feet almost into a tree. I land on my back in the grass, so I didn't really get injured. My bike lands on me, so I'm pained and wind knocked out of me. She practically, I think it was a Huffy, practically folded it.
Top
It
coat.
got bent to like a 45-degree angle because it just got totally hit by the bumper.
You got really lucky.
And so that was the first real crash impact. And she's a mother.
Yeah.
And so she comes running out of the car, and she's like looking down at me. I missed a tree by like a foot. That would have been the end if I'd hit the tree.
Yeah.
But she looks at me and she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." Trying to catch my breath. My bike is ruined. She quickly dashes back to her car and takes the hell off, screeching tires like literally almost killed somebody's son. She's like just trying to panic before she's put in
It's
jail
amazing.
forever.
Yeah, you're alive. I'm
And I
outta
go
here.
home and I get grounded
Yeah.
for getting hit by a car. But yeah, around here I got hit by a Mustang, like in my back tire, and he like barely clipped me.
So safety is obviously something that we have to be very concerned with when we ride.
Ironically enough, that's the reason I don't wear a helmet.
Really.
I did a little bit of research on helmets, and I'd almost have to be going at like typical running or walking speeds for the helmet to do all that much anyway, because they can mitigate some trauma. They can definitely protect your face. But for a lot of impacts, like up and around 20 and beyond, if you were to hit the ground without your body getting in the way first, your brain is going to smash against your cranium and you're going to be damaged whether you got a helmet or not. You get hit by a car, your body's going to be crushed, mangled, bent. Your helmet's going to be the one thing least damaged.
Well,
So it's like
there's
not
value
wearing
in that.
Yeah. I mean, if I fall off my bike and hit my head, yeah,
Right.
that's the danger I'm worried about, mainly.
Yeah.
So having the helmet off is like, it just reminds me I'm in danger. If I'm wearing the helmet, it's almost like, for me anyway, it's like a false sense of security. It's like, I'd rather not have the helmet. I'd rather know I'm in danger. I get hit, I'm fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I wear my helmet, and especially when I'm riding on serious roads, you pretty much need to act like everyone's trying to kill you every day.
Yep. I've gotten myself to the point where I don't go more than 6 seconds without checking my mirrors or looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Total concentration.
yeah. I have earbuds in, listening to music
Oh,
a
you
lot,
wear earbuds? Okay.
but it's, you,
Those scare
almost-
me.
yeah, you almost can't trust your hearing though, because cars are a lot quieter than they used to be.
That's true.
And more often than not, by the time you hear them, they're so close, you're in danger, you're dead.
So we'll go over your
So-
bike in a second, but
My
yeah,
eyes.
yeah,
I rely on my eyes. I'm just constantly checking them all around me. I'm putting myself where I know cars mostly aren't going to go.
yeah.
And anytime I'm coming to an intersection, I'm looking to the sides. I'm looking at cars turning into where I'm at. I'm looking behind me.
Yeah.
I rely on my eyes more than anything.
Head on a swivel.
Yep, head on a swivel.
Totally. So for somebody who is sort of on the sidelines now and wants to get into cycling, you know, we don't want to just talk about
Wear a
horrific
helmet.
accidents.
Don't follow my advice.
Wear a helmet, please. But you know, for people wanting to get into it, do you have any advice, you know, given your health journey and sort of what you've been through over the past 13 years anyway as a
Maybe start with a cheaper bike.
okay.
I kind of dove in to the mid-range. I got my first modern bike was a Fuji.
Yep.
It was a cyclocross, which was just really, really versatile. It was 800, I think.
Yep.
And then all the extra kit I stuck onto it. It ended up being like 1200.
Yep.
Helmet,
It's
shoes, pedals, all the extra stuff. It ended up being like 1200. So maybe I was thinking about starting off with like a $300 Diamondback, maybe
Yeah.
just a basic one you'd get at like a Big Fives or
yeah,
some
if you're
other store.
starting fresh, you know, you got to start somewhere. But
Yeah.
even a really sort of
I just didn't want to have to get a cheap bike I'd have to replace in a couple years. I
Yeah.
wanted something that's going to hang in there.
yeah, you can get a pretty decent bike for $700-800.
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the entire price range is covered. There's tons of choices from $200 all the way up to $10,000. Yes, they're that expensive.
All right. Well, cool. So let's take a look at your bike.
Yes,
All right.
which is a Cannondale.
Mind if I bring the sword over?
No, go ahead. Cannondale Topstone 1. I bought it in 2022, but they say my recent shop says it's a 2023.
Cool.
I thought you got your new model year in September, but maybe you get it in March.
Okay. So Mark, tell us about your bike.
It is a Topstone 1. It is a gravel bike.
Cool.
It does not have gravel tires. It has more touring tires because I
Yep.
spend more time on the road than on the gravel. But they're light gravel friendly.
About 2-inch, something like that,
They're
in that neighborhood.
50 millimeter, which is
Yep.
it's
Nice.
perfectly fine for the front, but it's right at the threshold of my
Yep.
geometry for the rear.
Well, they're nice and
So
fat, nice
it's
and
like-
fat for San Diego streets, right?
They're comfy, they're grippy, and they're close to the Continentals I had on my Fuji,
Yeah,
which could
Schwalbe's are the
chew
best,
up.
though.
Yeah, they could chew up glass and spit it out like the Incredible Hulk.
Very cool.
These things are close to that.
So you have disc brakes on this, but a fully
Yes.
acoustic bike.
Disc brakes. If you're not riding the
disc
Tour de
brakes.
France and aero is not a big thing, I highly recommend disc brakes because
Yeah.
the stopping power is amazing, wet or dry. They're a little bit noisy. They're a little more fussy, but
So much better.
all the time
So
I'm
much better.
having to stop for Teslas that turn right in front of you without a blinker. you can't go wrong. And these are hydraulic as well.
Yep. Perfect. So you got a nice heavy duty rack on back. All your little goodies up there.
Still trying to figure out the kind of bags to carry. I don't want to carry too much, but I do want to carry some stuff.
Yeah. Well,
This one is
do you do
working
like
from home.
grocery shopping and stuff on the
Yeah.
bike, or okay.
I tend to pick up stuff. I'm always on the bike. I'm never on anything else, so
Okay.
I need a little more volume sometimes.
So do you carry like your shopping bags on your bars, sort of thing?
Sometimes. I have a bigger bag that's getting old and all dirty and ugly now.
Yeah.
Might have to replace soon. But sometimes I can fit them inside that, and it's weatherproof. I like
Yeah.
having things be a little weatherproof, so that stuff that shouldn't get wet can stay not wet.
Cool. So you got full lighting, front and rear. Obviously, you ride at night.
Yeah, I've been looking for. I'm trying out this Milan. It's got blinkers on it, so that people
Okay.
can get an idea of where I'm going without hand signals.
That's cool.
I can't find a good, more aero version for the front though.
Mm-hmm.
This one seems to be working okay, although it's kind of partially blocked by the bag. I haven't figured that out yet.
And one thing that we talked about briefly was the mirrors, which
I swear by these little Sprintech
yeah
mirrors. They're not glass. They're actually polished metal. And they have been beautiful. I can just kind of glance down and get
Yeah,
a good
for-
idea what's behind me. They're convex.
for
So
drop
they've got a-
bars. That is the way to go.
They've got a good wide field of view. Although at some point I fell over on this bike, and so this side of the drop is a little off angle to this
Little
one.
goose.
So I have to adjust the mirrors separately from each other. I don't get the same quite angle I can get out of the other one.
Cool. So show us. I'll hold your bike for a second. Show us your sword as well, and I want to sort of see how you carry it when you ride, if that's okay.
Typically, I carry it on my back through my belt. I like to call it Sasuke style, like the character from Naruto, as you can see. He wears his on his back.
Nice.
It's not a proper samurai because the blade is down. The blade should always be up
Yeah.
with a katana or a chokuto. You always want to have the blade up unless it's a tashi, which is primarily ridden blade down because tashi are much more curved than a katana, and they would be typically held blade down so they could draw it easier while they're on horseback.
Okay.
Whereas
so that one you want the blade up because it's straight.
Katanas, not necessarily because it's straight, but they come from the Edo period, I believe. I always get the periods mixed up. The more peaceful time was when the katana really came to fore, and so they would wear it on their waist. And so for proper drawing, they would draw
That thing's cool, huh?
They would draw it from the waist, and so the blade would always be up, and you'd bring your hand down, and the blade is down.
Yeah.
And then they would sheath it
Pretty
like
crazy.
that.
Well, that's great, Mike.
But this is not a katana for the class, if
Right.
they don't know. This is a chokuto. It's the
Chokuto.
early Japanese interpretation of a Chinese Dao, which is single edge. I can never remember the name of the kisaki. The
Thing's heavy
point,
duty.
made of high manganese steel. Not everybody's preferred steel, but I like it. It is through hardened mono steel, holds an edge very well. It's corrosive resistant, not perfectly rust resistant. I still have to maintain it, like all carbon steels.
Yeah.
But holds
Just
a
put a
really
little
good
oil on
edge. Yes.
Yeah.
And no Hamon line. It's modern steel. It's not ancient. It's new. Made in China because Japanese won't import modern steels with their swords. They have weird laws. So all their steels are traditional tamahagane. You can buy lots of old swords, and you can buy new ones, but they have to be made the traditional way.
Okay.
They're considered arts, not weapons.
Gotcha.
You want weapons, you got to get those from China or Pakistan, America, Europe, lots of other places will make actual weapons and sell them to people. But Japan they've had really strict laws for about 200 years. And so they only allow traditional katana, made the old way. Not that that's bad, but modern steels are actually ironically stronger than the older steels because ore wasn't as good then. The techniques for forging were excellent, but they've learned more about hardening and forging swords, cooling them more precisely to better seat the carbon into the steel, which makes them stronger and hold edges better with higher corrosion resistance. There's so many.
Is this thing aluminum?
You could spend years learning about metallurgy and as it relates to swords.
Cool. Is this thing aluminum?
Yes.
Okay.
The frame is aluminum with a carbon fork.
So you're not a steel nerd on bikes.
No,
Although
I do like steel. It's typically heavier.
Yeah.
And yes, aluminum can be stronger than steel. Not always.
No, this thing's
Steel
nice.
is still the mostly strongest. You can always work hardened steel to be harder even than titanium. Titanium is lighter, but really hard to work with. Aluminum, however, cannot be forged. It can only be cast because of, I can't remember the
Is that what you do at work?
region.
Are you like into
No,
metallurgy at work?
I'm just really into metallurgy.
Okay.
I love steel, and I try to watch a lot of videos about it. But yeah,
Cool.
aluminum can be made stronger than steel because it can be made thicker for the same weight, or it can be made lighter at the same strength level. So there's a lot of fuss in there.
Yep. Well, cool, Mark. It
But
was really
aluminum-
nice to get to know you a little and hear more about your
Yes.
journey and sort of.
I could go on for hours about steel.
Yeah, you like steel.
I definitely do. And I do like this bike.
Cool,
I like
man.
the
Well, I appreciate your
aluminum's
time and
compliant.
yeah, I appreciate your time and
Copy.
thanks for coming out. It's a really
Absolutely.
good time.